Everybody, it's Miss Wolf in the art room. I'm here on a day when you're learning from home, and I want to show you what we're going to be making. We're going to be making a mosaic. A mosaic is a work of art that's made out of lots of little tiny pieces of many different kinds of things. Some people make mosaics out of glass, different colors of glass, and then they put the design or the picture in a window. It's called a stained glass window. You can make mosaics out of glass. You can make it out of plastic. You can make them out of paper. You can make them out of rocks. There's an ancient group of people, the ancient Romans, who made some of the very first mosaics that anyone has ever seen. And they made theirs out of rocks and stones, like this one I'm showing you on the TV. See if I can make it bigger. So if I zoom in, you can see each one of the little shapes, the little pieces of rocks that make shapes that they made this beautiful mosaic out of. In the picture, you can see some centaurs, which were creatures, mythological creatures, that the Romans believed existed. So they were something that both Romans and Greeks believed in a very long time ago, about 2,000 years ago. And we can see that in their art, in the mosaics that they made. They made the mosaics on walls, on floors, on ceilings. Most of their towns were destroyed in wars and big battles. A lot of the buildings were destroyed, and so the rubble fell down on these mosaics, and sometimes they were damaged or torn. You can see here at the top where part of the head of this centaur was damaged, and so part of it is missing. Part of it's missing over here too, because this was a mosaic that was in a building. It's a picture of the mosaic that was in a building over 2,000 years ago when there was a huge battle and the building collapsed on top of it. So a lot of art historians, people who study about art and go places where they know there's art that's hiding under things or has been destroyed, they go and they find it and they recover it. They clean it up and they share it with the rest of the world so we can see what people who lived a very long time ago were thinking and what kind of art they were making, what they were telling us through their art. And the Roman people were telling us things that were important to them, like their religion. There were also other mosaics that they made that looked a lot like this one, where there were animals. I'm not sure why it's showing that. Maybe I can make that disappear. There we go. Whoop, that's not what I wanted. Let me go back. There we go. There's the picture I wanted to show you. This is a Roman mosaic as well that was on a floor in a big building that had been battled, had been collapsed, had fallen down in a battle. And this subject is a different one. It's not a person. It's not a person that was from their religion, something they believed in as far as their religion, but it was an animal. And so sometimes there were animals in their mosaics too. This is probably a jaguar or a cheetah that's running across a tree branch. It is also made out of lots of rocks and stones. You can see all the different colors of rocks and stones in the body of the animal and in the background. So they used red, orange, brown, and black, it looks like, and some blue and green in the body of this big cat. And then in the background, they put more whites and cream colors so that you could see where the cat is. If they'd made the background black or brown or orange like the cat, then you wouldn't be able to see it. It would just be hidden in there. But because the background is white, we can see where this big cat's shape is. The shape of the cat is made out of all the rocks and stones that are brown and orange and black and blue. And then there's also some leaves that are made out of the black and the blue and the brown rocks, so we can see where those are as well. So we're going to be making a mosaic, and people still do make mosaics today. Here's a man, an artist, who makes mosaics today. His name is Jason Dussault. He's alive today, and he makes mosaics out of lots of different materials. This is one of his portraits that he's made, a mosaic that he's made that he's standing beside. He makes it out of, looks like wood and plastic and paper, probably some recyclable type objects like cardboard that he paints. And then he uses those little bitty tiny pieces of all those different things to make the picture. So a mosaic is just any kind of work that's made out of lots of little pieces. And when you make little pieces out of things, it creates shapes. So this project is all about shapes. We're going to use some little pieces, some little shapes to make our own picture. We're going to be making a Halloween mosaic. So you could make a mosaic with a bat, a spooky bat, or with a black cat. So we're going to have a scaredy cat for Halloween, or a spooky bat because Halloween's coming up soon. And we're going to use lots of little tiny pieces of paper. Some black paper on the bat or the cat, and some white paper on the moon to make our mosaic. So we're going to be making a mosaic with paper today, and not with rocks and stones like the Romans did, because we don't have enough rocks and stones to do that. But you might be able to make one at home if you have lots of rocks or stones, or you go to an art store. You can even buy kits where you can make a stepping stone, where you step on the stone when you're walking through a garden outside and put the rocks and stones in to make a picture on them. Lots of people like to use those stepping stone kits or crafts to make their own projects at home. So you might be able to do that too at home. So when we start our mosaic today, we're going to be cutting lots of shapes out of the papers. So we're going to learn about shapes with this project too. We use a lot of shapes when we're making art. There are lines in objects, but there's also a lot of shapes. A shape is just a line, and we've been learning a lot about lines. So a shape is just a line, like a straight line that goes somewhere. It might change direction and go straight another way, and then straight another way. And if it goes all the way back to where it started, that line makes a shape. You know what the name of that shape is I drew on the board? Yep, that's a square. A square is a shape that we recognize because it has 4 straight sides and a space in the middle that we all can see the shape of. So there's different kinds of lines that make different kinds of shapes. I can make another shape with some straight lines. This one has 3 straight lines, 3 sides. What shape is that? Triangles are another shape that has a special name. There are some shapes that have special names, like squares or triangles, and then there's some shapes that don't have special names too. A shape is just a line that goes around and then stops where it started. It just connects where it started. So this shape, it's not a shape with a special name. It doesn't have a special name like a square or a triangle does. This is a natural shape. So there are some shapes that are called natural shapes. And I know I wrote that backwards for you because the camera flips it backwards, but I'll just erase it. A natural shape is something from nature, like a leaf or a pool of water, or a cloud. It can change shapes. It can move, it can grow, it can get smaller or bigger. Natural shapes are not always the same. But it is a shape because there's a space inside of the line. The line goes all the way around and there's a space inside. That's a natural shape. Some shapes, like I said, they'll have special names like a square or a triangle, or we can draw some with some curvy lines. What shape did I just draw? It's almost a circle. It's a little bit lopsided. It's better to use a circle shape to make a circle when you're drawing or cutting out a circle, because nobody can draw perfect circles usually by hand. Most people can't do that. But I was trying to draw a circle, and a circle is a shape with a special name. Here's another one I can draw with a curvy line. What shape is that? Yep, an oval. So we're going to be cutting some shapes out of paper today to make our mosaic. We are going to cut out or draw a circle shape for the moon. Some of you are going to cut out the whole circle. Kindergartners are going to cut out the whole circle and glue it on, and first graders. And then second graders, you're going to draw the circle, and we're going to cut white paper to glue it on the moon to make the moon a mosaic too. So first we'll need some paper to cut out a circle or to draw a circle, and we're going to use a circle shape to help us. We'll use a plate to help us draw the circle or cut it out. Go get some paper real quick. All right, I'm back. I have my white paper now. So kindergarten and first graders, you're going to get a sheet of white paper like I have here, and you're going to get a plate. The other Miss Wolf is going to give you these items that you need. You're going to get a piece of paper and a plate, and then we'll need a pencil to draw our circle. So we're going to use our plate and just lay it down on the white paper and trace all around with a line that goes all the way around. It starts and stops at the same place, and we'll have a circle. So after you draw the circle, there's my circle. Can you see it? Yep, then you're going to cut it out. So when you're cutting a circle out, put your scissors right on the line where you drew the circle, and then just spin your paper. I'm not really moving my hand very much. I'm moving the paper that I'm holding. So I'm spinning it around. You can spin your paper while you're cutting, and it's an easy way to cut out a circle. So we're just spinning the paper and cutting on the line. Just try to stay on the line, that curvy line, all the way around, and you'll have a nice circle shape. Or a moon. A moon is a spooky thing at night, a full moon especially. So we're going to add that to our mosaic to look like our cat or our bat is in front of us. Spooky moon in the picture. All right, then you're going to get a sheet of orange paper. And we're going to glue the white moon to the orange paper. You could put it on one side or in the middle, or closer to the bottom or the top. It's a pretty big moon though, so just put it wherever it fits on the paper. So the whole moon is on your orange paper. So I'm going to put the glue on the white paper. You probably want to do that too, because the glue can change the color of the orange construction paper. Sometimes glue changes the color of construction paper a little bit. It takes a little time, but it's better if we put the glue on the white moon. You see the sticky glue? Yeah, and then I'm just going to stick it on my orange paper. So that's how kindergarten and first graders are going to make their moon. Second graders, and maybe some third graders too, I'm going to give you a sheet of orange paper. And instead of cutting out the white moon, we're going to draw the white moon on the orange paper. So you'll get a plate, and we're going to trace around the circle to make our circle full moon, full scary moon. Can you see that moon? Move it a little closer. There it is. Can you see it now? It's very light, and you don't want to draw it very dark because we're not going to have lines in this picture when we're finished. We're just going to have the shape of the moon made out of white paper. So after you draw the circle, then I'm going to bring you some white paper in strips like this, and you just need to cut the paper. So you're just going to use your scissors and cut the paper into some shapes, like a rectangle or a square. Or if you cut the paper diagonally, you can make some triangle shapes. You might even be able to make some shapes that are geometric shapes that have special names that we haven't named yet. You could make some tall, skinny rectangles like that. You might be able to make some hexagon shapes or trapezoid shapes. Those are shapes with special names too that you could cut out of your white paper. And then once you have a lot of paper cut, I didn't cut as much as I'll need, but cut a lot of different shapes from the white paper, then you can glue that to the moon to make the shape of the moon. So we're going to glue that all over the white circle to make the shape of the moon. I'm starting right around the outside edge so I can see where the outline of the moon is. So it's going to go all the way around to make the whole moon shape.